It's the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Tigers, your daily Detroit Tigers podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, everybody? We are back here for our final regular season edition of Locked On Tigers for 2021. Thank you guys for making Locked On Tigers your first listen every day. We are free and available on all platforms, as you all know. Somber day. Sad day. Our final regular season episode of 2021. Thank you guys for everything this year. Really, and I'll talk a little bit more about it at the end of the show. But been a life-changing season of Tigers baseball for me by every definition of the word. So thank you guys. We got 3 games to go over though, as always. Today's show will just be a normal Monday episode. We recap Friday's game in segment 1, Saturday's game in segment 2, and Sunday's game in segment 3. And then tomorrow's episode, Tuesday's show, will be like the season review. Like just very broad season review as a whole. People who were above expectations, people who were below expectations, right on expectations, coaching staff, front office, payroll, anything you can imagine. Just full out season review, season breakdown of the 2021 season will be tomorrow's show. Today's show, like I said, will just be a normal Monday. And then, And ending the season on a bang, though. Always good to go out with a win. We bookend the season, opening day and game 162 on wins. You love to see that. And a lot of fun in the middle there. So, hell of a year. Really, a crazy year for the Tigers and for me personally. So, thank y'all. Let's get into Friday's game, though. Let's just jump right into it. A 1-8 loss to the Southsiders. This was a hyped up game, right? This was a game that a lot of people hyped up to be like, oh, they're going to be throwing at each other. There's going to be brawls. Miguel Cabrera's going to get hit 4 times. Everybody's going to die. There's going to be a literal war that breaks out on the field, and people are gonna bring out knives and guns, and it's going to be ridiculous, and there's going to be arrests on the field and everything. So not quite living up to the expectations in the sense of that, in the sense of the tension going into the game. I think while certainly they aren't friends, these two teams, this is a rivalry that goes back generations and generations and generations and has always been a very heated rivalry. I don't think that I think after the game, both teams kind of realized that the reason that there was even a confrontation in, what was that, Monday's game was Tuesday, whatever day it was kind of ridiculous in the first place. And I also think that from the White Sox perspective, they were just like, we're not gonna waste our time or risk suspension or risk injury or whatever on a non-playoff team confrontation. So there was one hit batter. It was very clearly on accident again, but this time there was no brouhaha after from Chicago. So no, even though a lot of people went into the game and expecting this big tension and this rivalry game, whatever, it certainly was not that. And I think the White Sox blowing us out probably didn't, if it was a close game, maybe you see it a little chippier. I don't know, but it certainly was not some crazy climatic end of the season with a big tense bench clearing something or other. Brouhaha, as I said earlier. I'm very big on brouhaha today, apparently. So yeah, 1-8 final. Not a whole lot of analysis, especially because it's not like one of the kids started either. Like, it was Willie Peralta. And look, man, I've said it 1.5 billion times, right? Willie Peralta has done 10-fold, 20-fold, 30-fold, 50-fold what was expected out of him this season. He has a 3.07 ERA is what he will finish this season with. That is incredibly better than we didn't even expect him to pitch like an inning of Major League Baseball this year. He was signed to a minor league like depth contract, and we now have had him pitching every fifth day for the entire second half of the season, sans one 10-day IL trip because of a blister. He's pretty much been in the rotation the entirety of the second half of the season, and has kept us in almost every single game he's been a part of. So no slander at all. But I mean, 6 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, only 2 of them earned, granted, 3 walks and 3 Ks. That's about on par. That's about par for the course. The thing with him that I just want to make abundantly clear is that I don't expect or want him to be one of the starting pitchers one of the 5 starting pitchers in the rotation going into opening day in 2021. I don't think that is a smart move. Again, no slander on what he did for us this year whatsoever. Very grateful for what he was able to do for us this season. But that doesn't automatically mean that I think he should be like the 5th rotation starter next season. And we'll get into that more this offseason when we start doing, reviews and stuff, but player reviews. But I think those things aren't exclusive to each other. I don't think just because you had a overperforming good year this year that automatically means that everyone should want you to be like a very important piece to a team next year that hopefully will compete. That's all. So very good, solid. It kept us in the game. I don't know. He gave up 5 runs. Only 2 of them were earned, though. Whatever. A very rather on-brand finish to Willie Peralta's season, and he deserves a ton of flowers and thank yous for what he did this season for this team. Definitely was a big reason that we were able to take such a big step forward win-loss wise. Then we go to Brian Garcia, who is bad and pitched 2/3 of an inning and gave up 3 runs. Brian Garcia, I don't expect to be on the 40-man roster by the time free agency hits. I think Brian Garcia's probably played his last game as a Tiger. I would be pretty surprised if it wasn't. Ian Kroll, 1 1/3, clean, perfect innings, 2 strikeouts. He'll be an interesting one because he did have a pretty decent year, and lefties in the bullpen are always valuable. But I'm not sure he had a good enough year to, be like, oh, you're going to come back. And also, it's already his 2nd MLB stint. He's getting up there in years. He'll be an interesting one. I'm not really sure either way yet. I haven't really made up my mind. But he'll definitely be one to watch. And then the offense was pretty... this was very much, as we have said, a quadrillion, billion... made-up number amount of times. A lot of people were getting on base, and not a lot of people were scoring. Pretty on brand, I would say. For especially the second half of the season, but for most of the season as a whole, just a lot of hits, quite a few walks. I mean, we had 7 hits and 4 walks, so we had 11 base runners and scored 1 run. That's not what competitive teams do. It's not what teams that are making a playoff push and having a fun September do. So that was pretty on brand, though. I mean, Akil had a good game, a hit and a walk. Robbie Grossman, a hit and a walk with a stolen base as well. Got to 19 steals there at the end of Friday's game. A steal away from 2020 after Friday's game. Scopey had a hit. Miggy goes 0 for 4 with 4 Ks. Never great. Eric Haas 1 for 3. Nico with a hit. Daz with a hit. Willie with a hit. Daz with a walk too. I mean, it was just very, very par for the course. Very on brand for us to get actually quite a few base runners and just not be able to score any of them. This game was also started by Lance Lynn for the Southsiders, who's had a phenomenal year. And we actually played him pretty well. Some pretty good at-bats. Worked him, was out of the game by the 5th inning. Granted, they probably want to save a little bit. It has to do with saving him for the postseason, but still, 81 pitches through 5 innings is a pretty decent day at the office, I'd say, for an offensive perspective. Just that inability to drive in runs is brutal, and it continued to be brutal on Friday's game. That, between obviously poor pitching, and horrid defense, to be honest with you. Just an all-around, just a pretty ugly and sadly on-par game for the Tigers on Friday. So Saturday's game was a lot closer, and Sunday's game we'd actually pull through and end the season on a win. So let's get into the 4-5 loss on Saturday. But first, I got to talk to everybody about DirecTV streams. Does this sound familiar? You've got one device that lets you catch the game live, another that lets you stream your favorite shows. You're watching sports highlights on your phone, and you've got your neighbor's best friend's login for the good stuff. Well, I want to tell you a simple way to get all the entertainment you love without the hassle, and a great way to finally get your TV together. It's called DirecTV Stream, and it brings your live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before, so you can watch your favorite sports, movies, and shows all in one place. Means no more juggling remotes, no need to buy another device ever again, and the best part, there's no annual contract. So get rid of the clutter, get rid of the confusion, get your TV together with DirecTV Stream. You can learn more at directv.com. It's directv.com. Compatible device required. Content varies based on package. And I got to talk to you all about Get Upside. Telling you guys about it for a few weeks now. It's a great way to get cash back just by filling up your gas tank. My listeners are making up to 25 cents for every gallon of gas every time they fill up. Just download the free Get Upside app in the App Store or Google Play right now. Use promo code BASEBALL and get a bonus 25 cents per gallon on your first fill up. It's up to 50 cents cash back. Don't pay full price at the pump anymore. Get cash back using Get Upside. Just download the app for free. Use promo code BASEBALL to get up to 50 cents per gallon cash back on your first tank. Some people who drive a lot are making as much as $200 and $300 a month in cash back, and there's no catch. Cash back gets added right to your account. You can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal or e-gift card, Amazon, other brands, anywhere you want really. Just download the free Get Upside app, use promo code BASEBALL for up to 50 cents per gallon cash back on your first tank. And we're back for segment 2 here at Locked On Tigers. Thank you guys for making Locked On Tigers your first listen every day. We are free and available on all platforms, as y'all know. All right, let's get into this Saturday game here. 4-5 loss to the Southsiders of Chicago. This game, a lot more competitive. We were winning. We were winning a lot of the game. Like most of the game. But the final score is all that matters. So, we would shut out through 3 innings, 0-0 through 3, 1-0 in the 4th all the way to the 7th. Both teams would put up 3 spots in the 7th to make it 4-3 Tigers going into the 8th. And then the 8th inning, there would be a certain home run hit off a certain pitcher, and that would be it for the scoring. So, let's go through the pitching. I'm going to save Matt Manning for last on this whole segment, actually. So we're going to start with the offense. The offense was a lot better with runners in scoring position this game. I would say it was just a lot more competitive at bats in general. Starter for the White Sox, it would be Giolito, who historically, believe it or not, really struggles against the Detroit Tigers. I don't know why. He's one of the best pitchers in the American League, one of the best pitchers in baseball, and for some reason, the last 2 years especially, his stats against the Tigers are pretty bad. So he would go 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, far from a bad performance. A solid, good performance. Again, pulling him after 5, so he's ready for the playoffs. It would have gone deeper had this been like a July game. Really a solid performance and a lot better of a performance from him than some historic Tiger. We have that famous screenshot of him earlier in the year giving up a home run to I don't even remember who it was to actually, but regardless, a very solid performance from Giolito, and then we would get into the bullpen and wreak havoc, and that's awesome. They would bring out Dallas Keuchel in relief, who has already had a pretty weak year as a whole, just being a starter, and would come out and we would beat him up. And then the back end of their bullpen actually did a pretty solid job, the 8th and 9th inning guys. So really a weird game dynamic-wise, but a very solid performance from the offense. Worked counts really well. Again, after Giolito, I'd say Giolito was pretty darn good. Most importantly, though, the man, the myth, the legend, Robbie Grossman would get his 20th steal of the season. He got the 2020 year, baby. He got the 2020 year. I was so happy. I was watching at a Buffalo Wild Wings, and we freaked out when he got it. We got really, really pumped when he got the 2020 season. So very, very cool moment for him. Comfortably the best season of his career. Robbie Grossman's been a solid player his whole career. He easily, like not even remotely close, the best season of his career this year. Also proving that batting average means absolutely nothing because it's comfortably the best year of his career and one of his, if not his lowest full season batting average. So I love him. I love him so much, man. I love Robbie Grossman. Very happy he got to get the 2020 off. Akil Baddoo with 2 walks and a hit. Great day at the office. Middle of the lineup struggled 0 for 8 between Scope and Miggy. Jamer with a nice knock. The OPS would be at 795 going into Sunday's game after Saturday's game. Isak with a hit. Isak would lead the league in home runs if like foul ball homers counted as homers, by the way. The dude, like every at-bat, hits like a 400-foot home run that's left of the foul pole. It's absolutely ridiculous. Harold Castro would get the start at shortstop. Ofer, Eric Haas, Eric Haas, definitely not Ofer. Eric Haas had a big RBI. And then Daz Cameron as well with a nice RBI, decent game. OPS up to 600 after Saturday's game. He struggled mightily really most of the season at the major league level at least, and his stats are still pretty poor, but had a decent end to the season at least. We'll talk about that again in Sunday's game. So decent from the offense. The pitching, Jose Urena, very well. I would be shocked if that was not Jose Urena's last ever appearance in a Tigers uniform. So that's fine, whatever. Alex Lang gives up not a great performance, 2 hits, gives up inherited runs, 1 strikeout. And then Kyle Funkhauser would pitch the final inning and would give up the big home run to lose the game. Not a great way to end the season for Funk, but definitely a resurgence of a season, a good, solid year from Kyle Funkhauser. Hopefully he can take that momentum into next season. Let's talk about Matt Manning to end this segment, though. Matt Manning looked unreal. The best we have ever seen him look at the major league level comfortably. The fastball was 96-97 almost the entire outing. He would go 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. That is, such a good way to end your rookie season. Great way to go out. But if that Matt Manning is what we're building off of, we are in for a doozy of a career. An absolute doozy of a career. He looked unreal on Saturday. The curveball was phenomenal. The fastball was phenomenal. The tunneling between those 2 pitches was absolutely elite. I mean, the way that he was tunneling the curveball to the low fastball was a work of art. The command was fantastic. I mean, honestly, that was some of the best. That is easily the best we've ever seen him at the major league level. He looked unreal. The stuff has never even been close to being as good as we saw it. Great way to go out. Hopefully he carries that momentum in the offseason. Has a good throwing program, good winter, and come back next spring and really take a huge step forward for, I think next year he'll still be rookie eligible. So his first true big step forward there as a rookie. Great way to end the season. All right, let's get into our final game of not only the weekend, but of the regular season. A 5-2 win over the Chicago White Sox. But first, got to talk to y'all about Built Bar. 9 delicious flavors: coconut, cherry, raspberry, mint brownie, double chocolate, salted caramel, strawberry, orange, cookies and cream, German chocolate. My favorite flavor, as y'all know, is the orange with the cookies and cream right there behind. If you don't know what your favorite flavor is, though, you can get the mixed box. 2 of each of the 9 flavors. It's a lifesaver. Not only are Built Bars the best tasting, but they're healthy too. 17 to 18 grams of protein, calories from 130 to 180, only 4 to 5 grams of sugar, and only 4 to 5 grams of net carbs. Amazing flavors, all tasty, and all healthy. Order today and get the grasshopper, get the raspberry, get the orange, whatever you like. Built Bar is also the official protein bar of the U.S. track and field team. One step closer to being an Olympian, baby. Go to Built.com, use promo code LOCK15. You'll get 15% off of your order. That's promo code LOCK15 for 15% off at Built.com.
David Harrison here, the Locked On Washington Football Team podcast, celebrating with you a 21-grain salute to a less boring sandwich thanks to Dave's Killer Bread. I don't know about you guys, but when I eat pizza, I eat it for the toppings, not the crust. And when I eat a sandwich, it's for what's inside the bread, not for the bread. But when I throw a sandwich on 21 whole grains and seeds, thin sliced bread from Dave's Killer Bread, it is the epitome of addition by subtraction. That thin sliced bread lets me focus on what's inside the sandwich, but also adds to the sandwich with killer taste, killer texture, killer nutrition, a subtle sweetness, and a seed-coated crust. Dave's Killer Bread is America's #1 organic bread for a reason. It tastes so stinking good. Dave's Killer Bread is made with the highest quality organic and non-GMO ingredients and is power-packed with whole grains, fiber, and protein. Visit daveskillerbread.com to learn more and look for Dave's Killer Bread in the bread aisle of your local grocery store.
All right, everybody. We are back here for our final segment of the regular season at Locked On Tigers. The show's not going anywhere, though. We'll still be rolling 5 days a week for the first probably solid month of the offseason. And then at some point in the winter, we'll go down to 3 days and then back up to 5 for spring. So show's not going anywhere. Show is going absolutely nowhere, but the regular season is officially over. We do go out with a 5-2 victory over the Chicago White Sox. Always good to end the season on a W. Always feels a little bit better. So let's go over the offense first. 5 runs. We would have 9 hits and 3 walks. That's 12 base runners. 11, 11, and 12 for base runners this series. Pretty solid. Pretty damn solid. Just need to hit a little bit better with runners in scoring position, and those numbers could boost up quite a bit. Akil Baddoo, with a hit, he will end the season with a 766 OPS. That's a dude that was a Rule 5 pick that had never faced a pitcher higher than high single A. And in his rookie year, he would OPS 766. Absolutely amazing. The strides and adjustments he took in the middle of the season were absolutely phenomenal. Awesome. Such a great story. We'll get into it more this offseason for sure. Isaac Paredes 0 for 5 with another foul ball homer. Harold Castro, hitting Harold, 2 for 4. He would have a triple. His first and only triple of the season. That dude is something else. He would end the season with a 283 average and a 669 OPS. Something else, man. Eric Haas goes 1 for 5. Nico Goodrum 0 for 4. Daz Cameron 1 for 3. Willie Castro would end the season with a bang. 3 for 4. Shout out to A. Mort on Twitter, man. The Willie Castro fan club leader. End of the season 3 for 4. Gotta feel good about it. 624 OPS on the season though. Dustin Garneau 1 for 4. Solid. A nice little RBI double there. And then Zach Short 0 for 2 with 2 walks. All he can really do is draw walks. So that's a pretty on-brand final stat line for Zach Short there to end this season. So yeah, the offense was really solid. For Sunday's game. Dylan Cease with the start. 4 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 5 Ks. Again, they were keeping all their starters on a short leash so that they could be fresh for the postseason. Michael Kopech would come in and pitch 3 innings out of relief. 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 6 strikeouts. That dude's going to be a problem. I think next year they stretch him back out to being a starter, which is absolutely terrifying for the rest of the AL Central, which means it's terrifying for us. This offense, I was pretty pleased. Pretty pleased with the offense. Stolen bases from quite a few people. I think we had 4 steals this game, which is the most steals we've had in a game in a minute. And then Daz Cameron, obviously, with the clutch, the clutch home run later in the game to give us the lead. And then, the 9th inning would come along and we would just put it out of reach. So, or I think his home run was to start the 9th inning, and then the offense just kept rolling after that, actually. Regardless, nice little at-bat, nice little way to end the season for Daz Cameron. I would be shocked if he was on the Tigers opening day roster next year. I'll tell you that right now. But he ended the season a lot nicer than he was in the middle of the season. So hopefully he can work on some development this offseason and in the spring. And when he starts out in Toledo, a quick hot start could get him back up pretty quickly. But I really would be shocked if he made the team out of camp next year. Okay, I think that's it for the offense. Jamer would end the season with a sub-800 OPS, sadly. Only like 5 points short. I think he ended with 795. This game also, we win 5-2 when we put out, like, I'm sure AJ Hinch just, like, asked the veterans, like, hey, do you want to play today? And if they were like, nah, I'm good, then he just, like, listened to them. We had Nico Goodrum DHing. Nico Goodrum has a 644 OPS and a 210 batting average, and he was our DH today. So I can't imagine that this was like an intentional, thrown out the A-team lineup, but got the win. End of the season with a win, which is all that matters. Pitching-wise, we had Drew Hutchinson out of the pen first. 1 inning, 3 hits. Only 1 run, though. 1 walk. He's given up a lot of base runners, but not a lot of runs. He'll end the season with a 2.11 ERA in this stint. Joe Jimenez, the roller coaster one last time this year. 1 inning, 1 walk, 2 Ks, no runs, no hits. He would end the season with a sub-6 ERA after this, so I guess that's kind of nice. But he's one that I'll definitely be interested in keeping an eye on for this offseason. Michael Fulmer, 1 inning, 1 hit. No runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Beautiful way. Michael Fulmer gets the save to end the season. So, really, obviously, a very solid way to end the season. You love ending the season with a W. You love to see it, man. You love to see it. 5-2. Sad the season's over. This season has... season's been, like I said at the beginning of the show, man, the season's been life-changing. For real. So many opportunities started with, and I'm sure I'll open up more about the whole story of me just and I'm obviously nowhere close to done growing and hopefully rising up the ranks here in this industry, but definitely a life-changing season for me. I had such severe anxiety about putting my baseball's been my life forever, but putting my opinions and all that out there and recording myself, hearing myself talk and doing videos and all that stuff was so anxiety provoking. And I didn't want to do it and put it off, even though I wanted to do it, but couldn't do it because of my anxiety, if that makes sense. So a big struggle for a long time, and finally just said screw it and put myself out there and did it. And this is a season I will never forget. I know it's a 77-85 win-loss record and will probably be looked at as relatively meaningless in the history of baseball record books, but will definitely be forever a life-changing one for me. So yeah, thank you guys as listeners for allowing me to have this platform, and to, coming up to me during games and just telling me that you listen to my show means so much to me, and that you guys are fans is awesome. I've met so many people this baseball season, whether it's just friends or people in the industry or whatever. I've met and grown with so many people this offseason, too many to list, too many to thank. Just an absolutely life-changing last 7 or 8 months for me. Got this gig right after Matt Manning's MLB debut. I'll never forget my first episode, trying to recap everything and trying to make myself not talk for like an hour, and couldn't get it done. I think my first episode was damn near 50 minutes long, and the network was like, hey, these are 30. So I had to work on that for a little bit, but just an unreal year, unreal season, and will forever hold a place in my heart immensely. And that is for real, all thanks to you, the listener. That's the reason I do it, to interact with you guys, and just unreal, really unreal. Never a year ago today, even a calendar year ago today, if I would have told myself that I had all this going on, I think I would have been very, very proud of myself and very happy. So thank you guys immensely for making that happen, letting that happen, and continuing to support me. And now we ride into an off season. We ride into a very, very, very fun off season, and hopefully some more fun shows this off season as well. We got a lot of ideas for content throughout the season. And hopefully the front office and the Illich family will spend some cheddar and make it even more fun. Next year's the year, baby. Big steps forward for everybody. Big steps forward. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys for wrapping up a memorable regular season for all of us, truly. What an awesome year for the Tigers. What an awesome, awesome year for the Tigers. Peace and love. Going to therapy's dope, and I will catch y'all tomorrow for a season recap, a full season recap instead of just the game. So yeah, catch y'all tomorrow. Go Tigers, baby.